Hey gang, DVD collector back in the movie room. Hey gang, welcome back to Tuesday's list day. I'm not going to say top 10 Tuesday because this is actually just a list. Now it's kind of confusing because the first part of what I talk about are going to be 10 directors, but it's not a top 10 film. These are just, I tried to narrow it down to the 10 directors that will automatically draw me to a film. And I have a list of other ones that draw me also to a film, but just not as fast as these guys will. The list here is films that, if I see their name, I'm most likely going to know. I'm going to take a chance on it because they don't really fail me, ever. Now, everybody has their bad film. Everybody has maybe a couple bad films that they either act in or direct in. I don't really look at that too much because I know not everybody's going to put out premium content every time. Even my favorite, Hitchcock, has some hit or miss there towards the end. I still like them all. I still am very blind-eyed fanboy when it comes to Hitchcock, but I can honestly step back and say, well, this one's not really that great, and we'll go through that in a minute. But the first 10 here, and like I said, I know it's not a top 10 list, but the first 10 are ones that will draw me. Now, there's a mixture in here of directors that are no longer with us and directors that are current. So let's go with this. These are in no order whatsoever except number 1 and 2. Those two are in order. So we'll go just down the list. The Coen brothers. This is a group of people that have only made a couple films that I didn't really like. I can't say that about most of their films. I love these guys. I don't care how many people scream and yell that they're overrated or whatever. These guys put out great content. They put out just killer movies. I mean, they really do a great job at everything that they do. I mean, just absolutely amazing. Number 9, no longer with us, Stanley Kubrick. Genius. That's the only word that comes to my mind when I say his name. Genius. His films were so amazing that they just suck you in. They make you like him as a director. They're like, you know what? This guy is a fucking genius. So there you go. Del Toro. I mean, if I'm looking for a film that is going to be borderline creepy, but very, very well done, very artsy, very imaginative, very, right there, Del Toro. That's the only name you need. Newer director, not has been around as long as the rest of them. Gets a lot of shit for Mimic. If you read up on why Mimic happened, then you'll understand that not 100% his fault. But still, I even think Mimic's a fair film. It's not something that I'm going to watch, once a year or anything like that. But I don't see it as bad as a lot of people actually see it. So next is Christopher Nolan, of course. The only bad egg in his repertoire to me is Inception. I absolutely do not like that film. I like nothing about that film. It just really did nothing for me. Zero. Of course, my favorite Nolan film is Batman Begins. Or, man, what was his... Insomnia is good. It's a remake though, so I can't count on that one. The Following, I believe, his first film. Very, very, very interesting. It really shows what he was going to become. Tim Burton, you know, there's a lot of misses in there with Burton's stuff, but from an art perspective, someone that enjoys the artistic side of filmmaking, just like Del Toro, Tim Burton is a guy that I would go to. Yeah, he comes along with Johnny Depp, which I also admire as an actor, but even the ones without Johnny Depp are magnificent. One that I seen last year, the year before, Big Eyes. Beautiful, beautiful film. I love this. I love The Contact. I mean, Christoph Waltz helps in every aspect of any film, but the film itself was great. I really enjoyed it, and it was just a regular film. Quentin Tarantino. Love this guy. The only film I don't like, and this one's just like Inception. Inception gets a lot of love. I don't care for it. Is Reservoir Dogs. I'm not a fan. I can watch it, and you know it's all okay, yay, but definitely not blown away by it. I have to agree with Ian on this one. Hateful Eight is probably my favorite. Pulp Fiction is absolute classic, beautiful. I love this film, but I love that One Destination, such great dialogue, just an amazing film. And Tarantino, I know you're never going to see this fucking video, but I'm going to say it anyway. Please do not retire until you attempt a horror film. I want a horror film out of you. I want that seclusion, that high impact dialogue. This is not what I want you to do, but imagine if Tarantino redid Night of the Living Dead, okay? The horror aspect of this is going to be awful, okay? But the seclusion of that house with those people in it, you don't ever have to even see what's outside. That's the great thing about what he can do. There's just a threat. But I want the horror. I want to see what he does with horror. Next, Martin Scorsese, Taxi Driver, my all-time favorite film from him. This guy just nails everything he does. Every single film he does is, you know, 100% watchable. There are a couple that I'm not keen on, but for the most part, an amazing director. Next, Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood the actor, Clint Eastwood the director. I like them both, but Clint Eastwood is an absolute phenomenal director. He really knows what he's doing. He brings out great content. Everything you read about him or watch on special features is that he is just an amazing director that everybody wants to work with. And I think a lot of that has to do, and I've probably heard this or read this, it has to do with the fact that he is an actor. And he realizes what, you know, needs to happen for these actors to do what they're wanting to do, because he's been in their shoes. And some of his directorial projects are fantastic. Play Misty, for me, I think might have been his first, but absolutely great film. Number 2 and number 1. Here we are to the top of the list. These two are actually in the right order. Number 2, Charlie Chaplin. I think he is one of the greatest directors to ever live. I really do. His ability to act and direct The Tramp in the films and the shorts The Tramp was in are just fucking mind-blowing. I just don't see how he did both jobs with such precision. I mean, it's literally, just like I said about Kubrick, it's genius. Absolute genius. And if you've never watched a lot of them and you've never been keen on silent black and white film, this is where it is. I don't care what a lot of other people will argue with me on the internet, saying that Buster Keaton is, or Henry Lloyd, or where it's at. Charlie Chaplin is the king of silent films. If you don't like silent films, give the silent comedy a try. Just go in there and watch. I mean, it's so funny. I mean, he pours so much into these films that you can't help but just laugh. He's so great. And even the couple talkie films that I've seen him in, he's such an amazing actor. Number one, my favorite director of all time, and I bet you guys can't guess who it is. It's Alfred Hitchcock. Hitchcock, like I said, has some hit or misses later in his career, but for the most part, I still like him. His silent stuff is great too. His stuff when he came to America is superior, but the only thing that bugs me about Hitchcock, and it's not him, is the fact of all of the beautiful suspenseful work that he has done. He only won one Oscar, and that was for Rebecca, which is a great film. But Notorious, Psycho, The Birds didn't deserve an Oscar, but The Birds is actually one of my least favorite. I like The Birds, but it's not in my top films. But that's it. Hitchcock is number one. Always probably will be. He's no longer with us, but his films live on through Criterion, through other Blu-rays and DVDs. I have a Hitchcock set that is phenomenal. I have a lot of the other Hitchcock. I think I have all that are available Hitchcock Criterions. Now I'm going to run through a list real quick of other directors, because directors are my favorite part about a film. I love to sit back and think about how they did this, how they came up with this, how they did that. The actors, I love the fact that they're doing what they do, but it's the director for me. So here's a list of other ones that you can look out for, and they're also on my list that could have went way past 10. Terry Gilliam, Robert De Palma, Robert Altman, Ridley Scott, Steven Spielberg, Woody Allen, Wes Anderson, Ron Howard, Roman Polanski, Orson Welles, who I'm new to actually, Kurosawa, John Huston, Bergman, Fritz Lang, which is fucking phenomenal, John Ford, Billy Wilder, Terrence Malick, and yes, the most controversial name on this list, Spike Lee. I enjoy a lot of Spike Lee films. Do I like him as a person? I don't fucking know him. I don't care. I don't care about any of these people's personal lives. I don't care what they do outside of making films for me. Do I think all the hoopla going on right now with the people molesting and raping women and stuff in Hollywood is bad? Hell yeah, it is. And I'm not going to sit back and support a lot of that stuff. But like something like Spike Lee, yeah, he's controversial. Yeah, he's this. Yeah, he's that. But guess what? Would we hang out together? Probably not. I mean, it doesn't even matter to me. He makes good films. But like I'm saying, directors are my favorite. Hitchcock being number one. So get out there. Let me know who your favorite directors are. Let me know what you think about Hitchcock. And let me know just how stubborn you are on these silent films. Let me talk you into watching some Chaplin. So until next time, guys, game over.